Hey, this is Ken from The Million Reasons, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
You guys are over in Chicago, is that right?
Yeah.
What's it like over there? Is it still blustery or is it getting warmer now?
This week was it just started to get pretty warm and humid. It kind of no transition. It went from 50 degrees and rainy straight to like 80 degrees and humid. But I think next week's going to cool off a little bit.
Oh, nice.
All right, so more comfortable.
Yeah. So we can just jump right in if you want.
Cool.
I guess we can start with the record. Haven has been out since April 15th, I believe it is. Now that it's been out and you've had time to sit with it, how do you feel about it? And are you still satisfied with the outcome?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just because we've been working on the whole package for, I'd say, about 2 years. Because we put out a 4-song EP in February of 2020.
Oh, right before it all hit.
Yeah, and we put out a few of the songs that are on Haven on that EP, like If Not for the Fire, and the last 3 songs on Haven, Pretty Ones, No North Star, and All You Can't Afford. Mm-hmm. We put just those 4 songs out, and we played a little EP release show like maybe 2 weeks before everything got shut down.
Right.
So we felt like we kind of got robbed from, promoting it and getting it in front of people. And so we set on that. And once things started to slowly open up again, we started talking with Pavement to put together a full length. And they also brought up that those 4 songs didn't get the attention they deserved.
Right.
And, we agreed with them. And also a few of the songs were really old songs from maybe 5-6 years ago with our previous singer that we, I guess it's kind of like having an ex or something where like you would hear the songs with our old singer on there and we're just like, it's tough to listen to these.
Right.
And we took the music because we loved, the riffs and everything about the composition, but we just let our new singer Taylor take a crack at writing new lyrics, and we love the songs even more now. So we just put that all together, and we're very happy to have it out. And
what's been the response so far?
I think, everyone we've shown it to has had just very positive feedback for us. And what's also great is mostly everyone has a different favorite song, or just ones they gravitate to. And that's always a cool feeling too. It's like, okay, like we didn't just stick the landing on one song. There's something for everyone in there.
Right. However, It's Not for the Fire is a banger for sure. And a great,
we definitely felt like that one was the one to push as this quote unquote single. That one, we always at shows playing that one always gets us fired up too and gets the crowd into it. So yeah.
So were you guys able to take advantage of the downtime then over the last couple of years and write and create?
Yeah, yes and no. I guess the first few months of not being able to see each other in person and just sitting around kind of was more of a bummer.
Right.
And just like, I guess the first few weeks was a little bit more like doom and gloom, thinking like, oh shit, our show's done. Like,
right.
What the hell is going to go on over the next year or two? And luckily, things have gotten much better. But yeah, the first few months was tough. I wrote a few songs myself that may or may not end up being The Million Reasons but since I was in my room alone, just writing songs by myself, it didn't feel as collaborative. I was like, oh, maybe I could bring this to the guys, maybe not. But once things started to clear up a little bit, maybe like a year and a half ago, we started meeting up together, and the few brand new songs on here, like "Oh Tranquilizer," what else? I'm blanking out. Oh, "Coup de Grace," like songs like that. We started writing during the pandemic when we weren't playing shows, so it was, I guess, a little bit beneficial to not have to worry about playing any shows and just focusing on songwriting. So it was a little bit of highs and lows for sure.
Right. Did you so you guys are able to get together and write in a room together like the traditional way, and not, you didn't take advantage of technology and just like email stuff back and forth?
Right. Yeah, we usually are in the room together.
I think that makes it more organic and more real as far as rock and roll goes, right? Because it's not so quantized and so sterile. You get the swaying and the moving of the rhythms.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so our other guitarist, Mike, and our drummer, Colin, for starting ideas, they like to just go into the jam space and just make noise pretty much.
Right.
Whereas me and Jason, the bass player, we're a little bit more methodical about starting our ideas. Like I'll sit here, like on Logic Pro, and just start recording riffs or ideas.
Right.
And maybe it's just one section of a song, or just a simple idea, or maybe it's a little bit more. And then I'll bring that idea to the guys in the room, and then we kind of, play with that or jam out with that one idea and see where it goes from there. So whether it starts in the practice space or on one of our computers with just a simple idea, like, it usually fleshes out in the jam space.
Do you is there a message or something you want your fans to take away after listening to A Million Reasons, specifically even this record?
Yeah, the record, I know Taylor, our singer, and he wrote all the lyrics, so it's a little more personal for him, just the message behind it. I know there's a lot of highs and lows within the album of just the content, but I mean, personally, I hope people have a lot of fun listening to it, and it keeps them energized, because I feel like there's a lot of energy in the album.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hope that listening to the album, people start to wonder how a live show would be, because we definitely have a lot of fun playing these songs live and keep the energy up. Even like No North Star, which is much more of a ballad, and much more of a ballad and very emotional, but it's still, we try and amp it up as much as possible playing it live. So I'd just say that good times, a lot of energy is hopefully the vibe people get from listening to the album.
I know you mentioned live, and I saw you did some dates with the reunion, or at least a date. And are you guys planning on taking this out on the road like a proper tour, or is it going to be one-offs? How's that going?
Well, it is pretty tough with all 5 of us working, 9 to 5s, and trying to coordinate. Like, we definitely want to keep playing, shows in Chicago to build up more of a fan base here. But we've also been looking for maybe, like a longer weekend run to hop on a tour with some bands. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. We we've been reaching out to a few bands in mostly the Midwest, so we could start pulling off a few smaller runs like that, and then eventually, maybe turn that into a week or two of a run.
Gotcha. What's it like being out playing live again after all this time?
Oh, it's a great feeling. It felt like a lot of people have, a spot I guess a metaphor, or not a metaphor, but like people who like going to church and having that community. I guess that's kind of our church. Like that's our community. So it felt great to finally play a show again and be like, all right, we're all here together, all for the same reason, just to have fun. We all love music. So,
and I imagine the crowd was pretty crazy too, right? The energy's got to be insane nowadays.
Oh yeah. The first show we played since February 2020 was last August at Bottom Lounge, and in Chicago. And yeah, you could tell everyone was just like, yes, shows are back. Let's go nuts.
Right.
So it was a great feeling.
Yeah, because I imagine I'm just as excited to get to shows as well. So it's great seeing everybody, not just the performers, but like you mentioned, the community, your church, your old friends, everybody used to go have a beer with at the show.
Exactly.
Back again, and it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So what's next for you guys?
So, like I said, we're just trying to build up or plan as many shows as possible over the next few months, since we're fresh off the album.
Right.
And we're hoping to get on a few dates for some tours for bands coming by, or just in the Midwest or surrounding states. But then we're also, we kind of were sitting on these songs for a year and a half.
Right.
Like most of them were completely done about a year ago. So there's a lot of song ideas that we've been messing around with. And we're hoping to start writing some new songs too, and maybe get singles or an EP or something else in the next few months too. Just keep busy for sure.
That's good, and I think it's great that everybody's back out there. It's nice seeing music again and releases coming and live shows everywhere. It's almost hard to even pick who you're going to go see anymore, because now the floodgate, right? Every place is packed. The ones that survive the venues are packed all the time, so, which is a good problem, I guess.
Yes.
So I've hit all my questions or all my bullet points. Did I miss anything you want to cover?
I don't think so. If
fans want to find you, how can they go about doing so?
Yeah. So the millionreasons.com, right now it sends you to, the selection anywhere that Haven, the album, is, streaming, or if you want to download or buy it, it sends you there. And then we're also, on all the big social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all that fun stuff.
Thank you, my friend. Sorry about yesterday. Hope that wasn't too bad.
No, not at all. Glad we got it worked.
Yeah, we got it done.
Out.
Sometimes technology gets a little weird.
Yeah. It always seems to happen at the worst times too.
Oh yeah. We did a whole bunch yesterday. I did 9 of them yesterday, and they all went smooth except for yours. So I can't even justify.
Who knows?
It's just something weird. So anyway, glad we made it work.
Yes,
be well. Thanks for taking the time today.
You too. Thanks, Bruce.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freitz from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.